Talking all things entertainment, this is Sherri Pullum in the studio with Dreamers Unite. Following the road signs with music executive June Archer.
Hey dreamers, and welcome to Dreamers Unite in the studio. That's right, we are in the studio. We are back for another episode. As always, I am so grateful and honored every time you come to spend time with me. Now, in the studio, here is our special series where it is all about everything entertainment. That's right. Everything, nuts and bolts, we are going to talk about it because it's to show you that there are so many different careers in entertainment. It's vast and you can make an impact not only in your own life, but in others as well.
Well, today I bring you, oh my goodness. Oh, I don't even want to, okay, this is a man that is out here doing some incredible things, okay? And I also witnessed his evolution, and I am so proud to have him here. He is June Archer. Well, he started out as a music artist, right? Singing, and now he is a music mogul. He is a TV and music executive, a motivational speaker, a philanthropist, an author, a wellness coach. He has a clothing line. And I don't know. I don't think he sleeps. I really don't. I said that to him today. Do you sleep? I don't think he does, but we're going to find out. June, and he's also my longtime friend, a great dad. And we go back a long way.
Too long, and it's been too long.
Yeah. So June, welcome.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. Very warm. And I have to tell you, time has gone by, but time has been great to you. And it's been great to me, but to see you thriving and doing what you're doing and just be here in person, finally in person for a lot of things, this is a beautiful thing. So thank you so very much.
Oh, June, thank you. Oh,
this is dope.
This is real dope. Okay, so we're just gonna have some fun today.
Absolutely.
Y'all better strap your seatbelts on. You don't know what you're gonna get, but you're gonna get a lot of great golden nuggets. That I can guarantee you for sure. Okay, so June, listen, let's first start from how you transitioned from being an artist to actually transitioning to becoming a music and television executive.
That transition happened kind of happenstance. You remember the group Room Service, signed to Elektra Records, on top of the charts one day. And there's every classic VH1 story, too much, too fast, too soon, too young. We kind of imploded. And at that point, I moved back to Connecticut for a brief tick and went back to Cigna to do some work. And it was one day that my manager came to my desk and said, let's have a one-on-one. Mm-hmm. I'm saying to myself, we're not scheduled to have a one-on-one. This is the middle of the month. This is kind of odd that we would have a one-on-one. And she brings me in, long story short, and says, I want you to take the rest of the week off. And when you come back, I want you to give you 2 weeks' notice. And I'm trying to plead with her, like, if there's something I did wrong, I'm working in death benefits for United Technologies at the point. Did I give away too much money? Did I not give away enough money? Was I insensitive to, a widow? And she said, no, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. We love you here. And I'm like, oh, man, that's that proverbial speech that you get when you get ready to get fired.
Yeah, exactly.
And she said, you don't belong here.
Wow.
You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but there's so much more out there for you. And I took the rest of that week off and I went to a music seminar that was over in the Dominican Republic. And I ran into all of my colleagues and peers in the music business. And the person who was responsible for getting us signed at Elektra approached me and said, what are you up to? And I'm like, I don't know. I believe I lost my job, so I'm here trying to figure it all out. And he said, when you get back to, States, like, look me up. I'll have a job for you. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'm getting into some marketing, maybe promotions. Get back, give him a call, and I'm like, hey, listen, tell me what you want me to work on. Anything you want me to market, promote, put together a package. He's like, marketing? No, I actually want you to run the label. And I'm like, wow. So I went into becoming the president of the label. That was a boutique label under Elektra Records that moved over to Universal. And at that point, started my journey as a music executive, doing A&R work as well as running the label, and worked with Jay-Z, Beyonce, Chris Brown, 50 Cent, Mario, Marion, Gym Class Heroes, Chrisette Michelle, and the list goes on and on, Tyrese. So many amazing artists, and just realized that I really had a gift to work with, especially the younger artists, Marion, Mario, Chris Brown, just being a mentor, being a big brother, and kind of showing them the ropes from my perspective, from my brief 5-year run in the game as a recording artist. And we found a lot of success. Chris Brown went platinum, Mario went platinum, and Marion went platinum. And in 2010, I kind of took a leap of faith, and I was like, you know what, the music started to sound different. And I still was doing the music thing, but that's when I got the bug in terms of creating a documentary that turned into 2 TV shows on Fuse. And I'm like, oh, I could be executive in music and television. Oh, this is really dope.
Wow.
And it just spawned so many other ideas, and just being around, people like Sylvia Rhone or 50 Cent and Jay-Z, realizing you don't just have to be one person or just do one thing. You could be doing a plethora of things that will allow you to have multiple streams of revenue, but also being a blessing to other people and setting up things where, I can make this deposit now and yield results years from now. So that was my transition from being an artist to executive. It just happenstance, but just watching the likes of Michael Bivins, who's been a mentor for over 25 years, and him pouring into me and saying, listen, get into this, do this, make sure you have a diverse portfolio that you're doing X, Y, and Z, that you'll be able to sustain your career. It may not be just singing. It may not just be producing, but you could do so many other things. And if you look at what Michael Bivins is doing today, you realize, oh, he was walking the walk and talking the talk.
Right.
And I always tap in with him every once in a while. We talk or text at least once a month.
Wow.
And, he's very proud of what I'm doing, but I also tell him it's because of you being an example. And for me, I take that very serious. When I talk to young people, I try to be that same example, because I knew what it meant for me at that age and throughout my journey, and I want to have that same impact with young people today. So.
And you do. How did you even know this was going to be my next question? That's because you're just brilliant that way.
No, I keep smart people around me.
Yeah. Ditto. So listen, that's the thing I was going to talk about, is transitioning into, first of all, that story, your journey, that's incredible. And it takes, like you said, you had a calling on your life and you listened to it. And the other thing is, what a tremendous opportunity that your previous boss gave you.
Yeah.
To really see something greater in you, and to kind of just nudge you and give you that little bit of a wake-up call. And I think, it's stepping outside of the comfort zone.
Yes.
And then stepping into the unknown.
But it's also paying attention to what I call the road signs.
Yeah.
Because you'll have people that believe in you, that they see greatness in you, even when you don't see greatness in yourself.
That's right.
They see a way out when you feel like there is no way out. And you have to just pay attention to those road signs and say, let me listen. Let me pay attention. What is this person telling me that in this state of being stuck can be a blessing? So I could have said, I don't want to take a week off. I really want this job. And not stuck in corporate America, but not leading the life that you're supposed to be, not leading the purpose-driven life, not living out your dreams.
That's right.
Right? So you have to be able to, and sometimes, people block their blessings because they're afraid of paying attention to those road signs. But those road signs are there for a reason.
Road sign people, pay attention. And those road signs, too, are part of your intuition. Listening, paying attention, and then believing that you can do it and not blocking your blessings and not blocking the gift that's meant for you, living on purpose and in your purpose. Yes. Whoa, catching these. I'm going to do two hands.
You got
boom.
It. You got it.
And another boom. Okay? Yeah, huge golden nuggets from you, June Archer. Yeah. So we're going to go back to you impacting young people.
Yes.
I love, and a triple love what you're doing with your June Archer Academy.
Yeah.
Incredible. So tell us, what is first of all, the inspiration, and then the mission of the school?
Well, once again,
and we have a little picture back here too.
Once again, road signs, right?
Yeah.
Just paying attention to those road signs. So during the pandemic, a good friend of mine reached out to me, and he had gotten a grant to do some after-school programming for kids as an enrichment program at Jamoke Academy. And he had 3 kids signed up to this program. He reached out to me and said, June, unless someone sits down and have a conversation with you, they don't know what it is that you do. We know that you're in music. We see you with all these people that we know and love. We love their music. We love their shows and movies. But no one knows what it is that you do. Couldn't you please come and talk to my kids about what it is that you do, just to inspire them, to show them what can be done? And I said, nobody wants to hear what I got to say. He's like, do me a favor. Film a video. We're going to do an open house and just talk about what you would talk about. Just whatever you want to do. And I said, you know what? I would love to teach kids about the business of music. That's what I want. I want them to learn about the business of music, right? Because business is a much bigger word than music, right? And if they learn this piece, they could be successful, because there are young people who, they don't want to be in front of the camera. Some of them can't sing, some of them can't dance, and that's fine. But you realize that there are things that happen in the background that allow those artists to shine and be successful. So if we teach them the foundation and the fundamentals of the business of entertainment, what kind of impact will we have? So I shoot this video, and I send it to him, and I'm like, hey, let me know what you think of the video. And I get this text message, whoa, exclamation point. And I'm like, is there something wrong? He's like, oh, man, we got a problem. And I'm like, no problem. Tell me what you want me to say. I'll redo it. I have everything here in the office. I can reshoot it. He's like, I'm going to call you back. We got a problem, but I think we can figure this out. And I'm like, man, I thought I did everything that I was supposed to do. It gives me a call. I pick up and like, hey, listen, once again, if you need me to reshoot this thing, I got you. He goes, no, remember when I told you there were 3 kids in the program? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we have over 120-something kids that signed up for your class. And I said, excuse me? He says, I'm trying to figure out how we get as many of those kids in your classroom, because I think we can only have 24.
Wow.
I said, well, tell them I'll take 30 of them. He said, well, they're going to be online, because this was literally at the height of the pandemic. Kids were doing online schooling at that time. And I said, man, this is crazy. And we do it. We do 8 weeks. Kids are having a great time. We had this great testimony from kids about how it changed their life. We're talking about middle school kids. And he said to me, June, you know what you should do? It'd be dope if you did a June Archer School of Arts program. I'm like, it would be, right? I'm like, you're crazy. And I said, June, that's a road sign. He just gave you a road sign. I said, you know what? See if they like to do it again. And I said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to people that I know that are in education. I know superintendents, I know principals, vice principals. And I just started calling all over. And I called my old middle school and high school. And I told them specifically, I'm not asking you if you want to do it. I'm asking you when you want to do it.
That's right.
'Cause I can't be out here doing it for other schools when the dream was planted in Sage Park Middle School.
There you go.
And flourished in Windsor High School. And to date, we're only 19 months in, and we're in 18 schools.
Wow.
In Connecticut. 6 in Waterbury alone. And getting ready to bring New York on board. We have a school in New York that's interested, and we have one in Boston. And it was just really paying attention to that road sign. And now the program has grown. We're doing DJing. We have graphic design, filmmaking, photography, animation, songwriting. And the pilot of the program was the business of music. One of the things I learned, too, early in the game, when we started to reach out to schools, they take too much time to give them curriculum. We have curriculum. I have curriculum specialists that came in and did 10-week, 12, 13-week classes for us. Some of these organizations, schools, are waiting too long to give them theory. 3, 4, 5 weeks before they touch anything. We decided, give it to them from day one. Give them the turntable from day one. Give them the camera from day one, the iPad from day one. Let them make what I call innocent mistakes, happy mistakes.
Yes.
Let them learn. The way you're going to create magic is making it. Once you go jigga, 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 hold on, wait a second. Because you can't always teach jigga, jigga in theory or in a book or to read it. You got to, listen, go ahead, Sherri, touch that turntable. Record something and see what happens. Record it with the lights off. Record it with the lights on. Record it with everything blown out. Then they start to create their style. They start to learn a little bit.
That's right.
That's where we found a lot of magic. And then it's incentivized learning. So JASA has taken off because we're literally reimagining education, what we call at a higher frequency, right? Because it's music.
Yeah.
It's giving them something that they love and giving them the combinations. What do you want to do, Sherri, when you grow up? Oh, I don't know. Do you like music? Yeah. All right. Do you like logistics? Do you like planning things? Cool. You could be a manager. You could be an A&R. You like to draw, Sherri? Oh, and you like music? You be a graphic design artist. Oh, what does that mean? You could do album covers. You could do key art for movies. So once you start giving these young people the combinations, tell me what you love. Tell me what you like. And we'll put you with a career.
Yeah.
They start to smile.
Yeah.
Because if you ask a kid, oh, so what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I don't know. 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do general studies. It doesn't cut it anymore. Figure out what those combinations are so you could give them the opportunity to have a sustainable career later on in life.
You also have expanded into sports and all kinds of things. So talk a little bit about that in the non-traditional learning space and where you're going to go with this. It seems like it's more, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it seems like it's even expanded more and beyond just music.
Absolutely. It's real world experience. And how do you give, young people the opportunity to think globally instead of locally, right? If you allow them to think globally, now you put them on a different pattern, you get different trajectory. So we're allowing these young people to, hey, tell us what it is that you want to learn while we give you these basic things here. Because the goal is to just be inside the schools. We don't necessarily need a school per se. If we do get a performing arts school, even better. Because now we can do it from the ground up and do what we want to do. But now we're really fighting to make sure that we're in school instead of after school and making sure these young people get credit for taking these classes.
Right.
So it's really just thinking globally and just really having fun with it and listening to what these young people are saying. What is it that you want to learn? Where is it that you want to go? Do you have a passport? You don't have a passport? We're going to tell you, if you get a passport, how broad, how big your world becomes because you're able to travel, experience different things. So that's where we are with it.
Yeah, and also, you know what, listen, and at the end of the day, too, when kids are interested, you know what they say, the idle mind ban, right?
Absolutely.
People get, young people just get in trouble. And when they're not interested in things and their voice is not being heard and they feel like they have nowhere to go.
Huge difference.
It's a huge difference, depression, bullying, all those things when kids don't feel good about themselves because they don't feel worthy, they don't feel seen, they don't feel heard. I definitely believe in arts education. You know that a long time ago.
It's very important.
It's
STEM is great, but STEAM is even better.
Yeah. You know what? Or maybe they just sometimes need to work hand in hand.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? There's a path for that, and there's a path for this. So what works just as one traditional path is what we're trying to say. Let's not just stick in that in education. I am. You're a man after my own heart with that because I believe. That's why I do this, right? Because we know what
kind of difference
the arts can do, and
it saved a lot of us.
Saved a lot of us. Yeah.
Even those. Yeah. Even when I say save as well, Sherri, it is not like we were in an impoverished situation.
That's right. I know what you mean.
Everyone else is doing something different. Where we come from, it's the insurance capital of the world.
Yeah.
You cannot not get a job.
Yeah.
Right. So you either go to insurance or you get a job with the state. Right, or you work at the hospital, like there's plenty of them. But for those of us who were in the creative mind and way of thinking, these things saved our lives. Going to the Apollo Theater saved our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
I think what you're saying, too, like I was going to say, it's not just about like because everybody's in the trenches or you grew up where you're afraid of, your life might be taken, but saving your life in the sense that you're living authentically. Mm-hmm. You're living as the person that you were born to be. And then you're allowed to explore that. And then what you're doing is look at all these brilliant, smiling faces back here. You're reaching back and you're teaching.
So
and you're transforming lives. I'm proud of you. Okay, we're going to shift to your podcast.
No,
is there anybody you can't tap into?
No, at this point, no. At this point, people are starting to tap in. And I think that is a huge compliment. It started out, once again, another road sign. I'm telling you, if you pay attention to road signs, it took me a while to do so. But I've had a long-standing relationship with 50 Cent from the perspective of my cousin had made that introduction because he was doing his album covers. And one day I'm at Sony Music and I run into his head of marketing, and Jeremy's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm working at Sony. Come up and listen to what we're doing. I'm working with these producers. Comes up, we're hanging out. I hadn't seen him for a while. He's like, what else you working on? I tell him about the documentary and all these things. And I said, hey, you what are you doing over there? He's like, yeah, we got, the podcast, we got the show, we got thisis50.com, just looking for other content. Like, yo, you want to do something? I'm like, you know what I do? What do you think about me doing some inspirational messages? Like just 60, if I could just get 60 seconds. He's like, all right, let's come by and let's do it. And we would do these little vignettes, 60-second inspirational messages. And I would go in, I would record like 10 of these things, and he would put them out couple days a week. And it started to grow, and then one day he was like, whatever you do, don't look at the comments. And I'm like, what do you mean don't look at the comments? I'm built for that. I could look at these comments. And I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, these people are pretty mean. They're like, who's this guy? Get him out of here. He's talking too many positive things. Get him out of here. Who's this guy with the bow tie on? All kinds of expletives that were in there, and I'm like, these people are rough. I'm like, man. He's like, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. And one day, Tony Yayo was in the office. I said, Yayo, do me a favor. Get ready to record, but come in. I want to interview you because no one knows how cool you are, how smart you are. Like, he's a very intelligent person, but you just get one side of him because of the music. And we sit down. We have a 40-minute conversation. And he's talking, this is before Trump becomes president. He's talking about how he potentially could be president. And it was very controversial in what he was saying, but he wasn't far off. And it comes out and it goes viral. Wow. And I'm like, this is crazy. But no one had ever heard Tony Yayo speak like that up to that point. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, who else do I know? So I just started calling famous people I knew. People that are my friends. I'm like, hey, I'm working with 50. I want to interview you. No one was saying no.
Wow.
And just got to the point where interview after interview, I ended up doing Funk Master Flex, and that one went viral because of some controversial stuff that he said about another DJ. And I did one with Styles P from the Locks, and that one went viral because we talked about his daughter passing and how the passing of Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls had affected him. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I have something here. People trust me to sit down and talk with them and talk about intimate things, and they give me their authentic, true selves. And the whole goal is always to make sure that I get as many gems, as many stories of triumph, overcoming, that we can entertain, for one, because people need to be entertained, but how do we inspire and motivate as many as we can through these stories?
That's right.
And it just took off, and then now it's been, network after network reaching out and saying, hey, getting ready to put out, for example, Harlem's coming back. Can you interview the cast? Power Book 2, the Power Series. Can you playing with Gerard Butler? Do you mind being on the red carpet? And all these things and these opportunities have been coming out. And once again, just paying attention to road signs and just being prepared. I knew I have the talent.
Right.
I'm very confident in what I'm doing, but sometimes you just need the opportunity to present itself. But once it does present itself, are you ready, right? The best opportunity for anyone is to be prepared. But the best ability is availability.
Okay, let's look in your camera and give that nugget.
Right.
This is coming directly from June. Let's get that.
Your best ability is availability. So sometimes you got to sleep with your shoes on just so you don't have to get ready. So preparation and opportunity equals success. So write that down. Put it in a notebook. Put it on your mirror in the bathroom. Write it on your refrigerator. Put it on your desk, on your cubicle, wherever it is. But remember, I told you that. Your best ability is availability.
Your best ability is availability.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll just follow that up by quickly saying, is being an actress too, right? You do the audition and then you get the job. And I always tell young people too, okay, it's one thing to prepare for the audition, but then you have to be ready to actually deliver with the job, because you get it. When you get the call, you got to be ready to go ahead and deliver.
Because somebody wants your spot. Somebody wants that opportunity. There's always somebody better than you too.
That's right.
Right? So you have to lead with your best foot forward and
That's
give
right.
you your very best. Give your best version of yourself every opportunity you can.
Yeah, and that's what you're doing. You're giving your best self. So I'm gonna talk about your book. I could talk to you forever, and then we're gonna jump to our next segment,
Absolutely.
which is going to be having a call-in segment. But before we do that, I really want to talk about you're an author. So much more. I mean, you're gonna have to come back because the clothing line, and we're gonna tap on this book right now, and then we're gonna talk. I do want to just briefly, you tell us about your wellness app, and then we're gonna cut into go into our call-in segment. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yes, you can.
Yes,
Tell us
you
what
can.
was the inspiration about that. I know you have children.
Yes.
Were they your inspiration?
They were. Here's the thing. Once again, another road sign. I know you guys are getting tired of me talking about road signs.
No,
but
keep
it's a
talking
real-
about it.
It is a real thing. 2010, the music sounded a little differently, as I mentioned earlier, and took a step away from the music business. Did the documentary, did the 2 TV shows, but in the TV show, in one of the episodes, I talk about wanting to write a book of inspiration, because at that point, I've been putting out, inspirational messages on Facebook, and people kept telling me, you should put this in a book, like you should write a book, and I'm like, I don't want to write a book. Once again, road sign that if you're not paying attention to, you block your blessings. And I said, you know what? Let me look at all these, and I had done it maybe like a year and a half, so I had plenty of stuff to choose from. I'm like, let me just pick the top like 150 quotes that I did, and I'll edit them, and I put them all in a book, and I gave it to Anika Noni Rose, and I'm like, Anika, I just want you to edit this for me. Tell me what you think. She's like, yo, this is a great idea, and send it back. It was read everywhere. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want you to do that. I didn't want you to do that, but it was just a blessing that she went. She's like, oh, grammatically, this could be this. And I'm like, it was just my thoughts.
Right.
And when we were done with it, I'm like, you got to write the forward. And she's like, absolutely. And this book was called Yes, Every Day Can Be a Good Day. The Keys to Success That Lead to an Amazing Life. Because every morning when I was waking up, I would see people on Facebook complaining about something.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to go to work. They don't like their spouse. The children are driving them crazy. They're not making enough money. Not feeling what. There was all these things that were going on. And I was like, let me just show you, like, the minute you wake up is a blessing. Lead with gratitude. And that book came out and did really well. And I said, you know what? I want to catch people early. And I said, what if I wrote a book of inspiration? Because a lot of kids, I want to be, you want to grow up, I want to do this. And I'm like, you could do whatever you want to do. You don't necessarily have to do what I'm doing. You could be doctor, lawyer, artist, graphic design artist, philanthropist. You could do anything. Mm-hmm. And this book is really a story of having a conversation with my son, putting him to bed and reading him a bedtime story that's really about him and his journey, and telling our young people, if you could believe it, you can achieve it. But first, you have to be able to dream big.
That's why I do this show.
And what's the name of the show, Sherri?
Dreamers Unite.
Okay. So it is in the first name.
Yeah, it's in the first name, right? Dream big, and that anything and all things are possible. How can people get to your wellness app? So we're going to put up the picture of your wellness app. Tell me a little bit about that. And there's so much. June, I can't even cover it all. I mean, this man has a clothing line too. I mean, we can't cover all of this.
We're trying to do it all.
You are doing it all.
Oh, we got to talk the events.
Okay,
shortly.
Okay.
The 100 Men of Color Black Tie Gala Awards, which honors 100 men throughout the state of Connecticut and Western Massachusetts, in education, government, entertainment, sports, public service. Just wanting our young people to see that you have Jay-Z and Beyonce in your own community, right? And what it means to have a gown on, or what it means to have a tuxedo on, or a suit, and hard bottom shoes with a belt around your waist with your pants pulled up around your waist. What does that look like? And giving them that environment so they get used to it.
That's
right?
Right.
It's always great to wear the hat to the back and, all the latest fashion, but there's a time and a place for everything. And we want our young people to be able to experience these things and have an opportunity to bring back Eric LaSalle, bring back Anika Noni Rose, bring Ray Allens, the people who they look up to and I tell people, and I need you to come back home for this event because I need them to see you. I need them to be able to put their hands on you, shake your hands, put their arms around you, so that they can see that you are real, like you come from here.
Right.
There are some people who aren't from there, but even those people, I need my community to see you. They see you on television, they support you, they buy your products, your services, your sneakers. They need to see you.
That's right. And the place you're talking about is Connecticut. We're just going to
Connecticut.
say it again. I'm from Connecticut, and many of you
Absolutely.
may not know that, but I am
It's
too.
in-
June is from Connecticut. That's why we go back. We
love
were
it.
running in the same circles, doing the same
Absolutely.
thing, young and taking over, and we're still taking, trying to make a difference. That's what we were
Absolutely.
doing then, and we're continuing
We're
to
still
do it
doing it
now.
now. And this
We're
is
still
just an
doing it now.
extension. And
It's
then
just
I-
an extension.
Created the 100 women of color, because you can't honor the men and not honor the
You got that right. The sisters,
pillars,
the
the
queens.
backbone of the communities.
There you go.
So that's been great, and we are now celebrating 8 years for the women this year, and it's going to be the 10th anniversary for the men. So that's going to
Wow.
be 1,000 men
Wow.
that have been honored since 2013. So super excited about that. But the wellness app, we're proud of, knowing that our young people have been having a really difficult time over the past couple of years, especially with COVID. What that means, especially for our student athletes who are trying to do well academically, as well as on, just sports. So my childhood friend and I, he approached me a year and a half ago. He's
I want
like,
to say another road sign.
another road sign. I'm like,
I'll forget another road sign.
I need something else to do. And as I read it, I'm like, no, this is important stuff. Like, this is crazy. And I'm reading everything, Sherri. I'm like, yeah, our young people are having a hard. Because this could have been me if I didn't have the outlet, the environment, if I didn't have the help, the village around me. I could see where young people could fall off the track.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm behind you, and I'm going to reach out to schools that I think could use this. I went to Central Connecticut State University, called up Central Connecticut State. I work with UConn and Eastern, called them as well. Trying to figure out how we could get this in as many schools as possible, but it also helps coaches deal with student athletes, right? Also helps the faculty, because they're getting burnt out too. This past 3 years have been a new terrain for everybody.
So now how can you get the Wellness U?
Go to wellnessu.com
Go to wellnessu.com.
and check it out. If you believe it's for you or believe it's for someone that you think can use it, there are ways to tap in and connect. And there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of resources that are available through this app, and we make it specific to different campuses. So if you go to Fairleigh Dickinson, which is a local college here, it will be specific for Fairleigh Dickinson and everything around it in terms of the surrounding town, in terms of Hackensack and the surrounding towns here, because we want you to get the help that you need on the ground. You don't have to call someplace else that may be a satellite station somewhere else across the country. No, you have resources that are available to you right in your communities.
Right in your community.
It's super important. We're super excited about it. And now's the time to give our young people all the help that they need.
Yeah.
So it's just super important.
You're doing a lot, and I appreciate all your time. Now we're going to go, we have a video or a question for you.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to switch over to that segment
Looking
and
forward to
see
it.
what you can do by answering this young lady's question. We are back, and we're moving into our segment to ask June Archer a question. Yes. So we have a caller that actually sent in, or I should say we have someone that actually sent in an audio. So here's her picture. Her name is Lilith, and she is going to ask you a question. So let's listen and see what she has to say.
Hi, Mr. June Archer. I'm Lilith, and I'm a senior in high school. And I want to congratulate you on all of your success and starting the June Archer School of Arts. A question I have for you is, do you ever see yourself and those you are helping that are on the same path as you were? And how does it make you feel to be an inspiration for so many people?
Wow, that is a great question. So I do see myself in these young people and to their eagerness to learn, and also the way that they continue to develop as the weeks go on. Their chest is poked out, their shoulders are back, they're smiling, they're talking more, they're more confident. And as the weeks go by, I'm like, man, this is it. And at the end of each semester, you see a totally different young person. And I say to myself, man, I was able to do that over the years, but look at the impact that we're having on these young people just in a matter of 12 to 13 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what kind of difference that makes. And also why this is such a great question is we need to do this now more than ever for our young people. And we will see a different generation of kids, a different generation of creatives in JASA, Junior Arts School of Arts, we address our young people as student executives and student creatives.
Yes.
If you are in the
beautiful.
DJ class, you go by your DJ name, just like a Spanish class. And that is how you are addressed, right? Because we're trying to teach branding, marketing, how to be an entrepreneur, all of these things. So not only do I see myself in these young people and excited about this program, it has my name on it, so it can't fail. And I have to give my authentic self. So I'm super proud of it. Thank you so much for that question. And I wish you so much success in your high school career up until the end. And when you get to college, if you're looking for an internship, if you're looking at anything to do, make sure you reach out.
Yeah. Right. And speaking of making sure you reach out, tell everybody where they can reach out to you.
Yes, you can go right to the website. Everything is there. IamJuneArcher.com. JUNEARCHER.
You are involved in so many aspects of entertainment. But if you can sort of give maybe just one great offering to someone that's even just remotely interested in, perhaps they're in this field and they didn't know how to transition into something else, or perhaps they're new to the industry and they're just thinking about jumping into entertainment. Or, listen, some of our viewers, they're not always just into entertainment, but we can use this as a model that you can apply these concepts that we've talked about, these strategies, these tools that we talked about to any profession. So what's maybe an offering that that roadmap, listening to your road signs rather, and following that, and I guess developing a roadmap from the road signs?
You just hit it on. It is exactly that. Pay attention to the road signs. And as you are making your journey, write down where it is you're coming from, know where you're going, and then just trust the process all the way to the end. A lot of us, and I always equate this to a plant, right? You plant the seed, you put some good soil in it, and you're supposed to water it, give it sunlight, and you should talk to it, right? That's what people say, talk to it. But when you don't see the immediate results, a lot of people, oh, maybe I didn't plant it in the right soil, or maybe it's not in the proper sunlight, so they move it, or maybe I'm not giving it enough water, so I'm going to put more water, or maybe I'm giving it too much water. So have faith, have patience, and have trust. When you plant that seed, make sure it's some really solid soil. Put enough water in it, meaning people, energy that you pour into your dreams. Put in the proper sunlight. Who are you sharing those dreams with, right? And just talk to it. Speak it into existence. You have to see it before you believe it. But the larger part is, Sherri, believe in yourself. Believe that it could come true. Don't be afraid to take the steps necessary. Don't be afraid to put in the work. And don't be afraid to fail.
Even if I didn't have this history with you, just being able to share in listening to your journey is so inspiring and encouraging. And that's why I brought this man on, people, that you would be inspired and encouraged by his insights, his wisdom, his experiences. So on to the dream game next. All right. June Archer, are you ready for the dream game?
I think I am. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm ready to take the dive.
Everybody always gets nervous over the dream game.
Listen, because you want to be able to do your very best. I don't know if there's a gift at the end. Is there a prize? I'm very competitive, so I'm excited.
I know the prize. I know I've got this vision of a prize at the end. Right now, the prize
the Dreamers
is
Unite trophy at the end. That would be great.
Yeah,
have our names on the Dreamers Unite.
Absolutely, that's all coming.
All right.
Okay, it's all coming. But right now, the prize is you sharing and pouring into these people.
Let's do it.
Okay,
let's do it.
So, what was your childhood dream? Which we know a little bit about it, and I think you're living it. Yeah.
My childhood dream was I wanted to be like Michael Jackson. I wanted to dance like Michael Jackson and do what New Edition was doing. I would say I was able to do that because I did get the record deal, had the opportunity to see my video on television, hear my song on the radio, see myself in, the teen magazines. So yes, that dream did come true.
Yeah. So and are you still living it now?
And I'm still living it.
Yeah.
I'm still living every day. I have the opportunity to interview someone or be at an event and perform on stage or speak to young people. To me, it's just an extension of what I wanted to do, and I am still living it and still enjoying it. I wake up and fall in love with it every day.
How do we keep our dream focused in front of us with so many different distractions? How did you do that with your dream building?
Compound interest. That is the key word. Write those 2 words down. Compound interest. That is doing the work necessary that is going to allow you to be successful every day, if not every opportunity. If you can't do it every day, every opportunity you have, and over time, compound interest, you put in the work, and what I tell you, your best ability is availability. When that time comes, you're ready because you've already been putting the work in. So it's just compound interest, working on this every day. It doesn't matter if I'm trying to host, right, or doing an interview. It's watching people who do it, seeing how I could do it better, how I could do it just like them, and bring my own style. It's getting in front of a teleprompter at home and practicing reading the teleprompter as if I was on CBS television, putting in the work. So when that time comes and someone says, hey, we want you to take the place of Gayle King tomorrow, I'm like, oh, let's do it. Do you know how to read the teleprompter? Bro, in my sleep, let's go. Right? So it's compound. It's just working on those things, even the things that you don't like, right? It's like telling an athlete, if you don't kick well with your left foot, then you should be practicing with your left foot. You already know how to kick with your right foot. It's your strong foot. But until you are as strong with your left foot as you are with your right foot, there's a weakness there. And people will expose you for that. So never put yourself in a situation where you can be exposed because you don't have the ability to do it from that angle, whatever that thing is. You don't know how to read a teleprompter, Sherri? You better start working on it. For some people, if you don't know how to read, start working on it, right? So that's why education is so important. Because a lot of people say, well, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be on television. You're like, so you do realize you have to know how to read, right?
Right.
And if you're getting paid, you need to be able to count your money. So reading and writing is fundamental. Learning math, financial literacy is important.
Absolutely.
But just finding out that you have to do it well is where the compound interest comes in. Just working on it every day.
Working on it every day. And it kind of takes from all those distractions so you can focus, working
Put on your horse
every
blinders.
day.
Get focused. Sometimes you got to just hunker down. There's going to be things that you're going to miss, parties that you're going to miss, events that you're going to miss, people that you're going to miss. But if you have this goal in mind, you say, this is where I want to get to, then there's some things that you got to give up or sacrifice in order to get there. When you get there, then you may have time for things here and there.
Right.
But you have something to do. There's a journey that doesn't belong to anybody else but you. So you have to focus on that. Because there were people, oh, Sherri, let's go hang out. And they're not that they don't love you, but they're like, you could practice for that show tomorrow or next week. And then you get to the show and you're not prepared. You're not focused. You're not well rested, so you can't think. And you didn't take care of your notes and you don't. Is that their problem or your problem?
That's right.
Definitely not their problem, because that's not their dream. Their dream isn't to be on television, have their own show.
Right.
So you have to work on the things that you need to work on in order to be the best version of yourself.
That's great. And that's what you did to stay focused.
Horse
That's what you did to help eliminate those
Absolutely.
distractions. Okay, so this is your opportunity. You talked about the Dreamers Unite trophy.
Yeah.
So I'm just presenting you with an award. And because I think when we're dream building and we are reaching our dreams, there's so many people that have supported us. They've been in our corner. So this is your acceptance speech.
Okay.
That your dreams, everything, that all these things that have really come true for you, this is a time for you. I think it's great to give people their flowers while they can still hear them and see them, right? And then just be, like I said, it's important as dreamers that we walk and we truly live in gratitude. So here's your acceptance speech. Who would you like to thank right now? That if you think about your Dreamers trophy, your Dreamers Unite trophy, this is your moment of acceptance. And you've gotten many, many awards, okay?
Okay.
Many awards.
All right. So I'd like to thank of course, mom and dad who instilled a lot of positive things and attributes. My wife, my children, teachers that believed in me. Of course, my librarian who instilled the importance of reading and the love of books, and my community that wraps their arms around me, that believes in everything that I do because they know that I have great intentions for my community and the surrounding communities. And I would say just the world. I think those who believe me know that I have great intentions for every man and woman on this God's green earth. So thank you to all of those who believed in me, and I appreciate this Dreamers Unite award. This is amazing. And as they do on the Oscars.
Yes. For the acceptance speech. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And you see, I put that back right where it's supposed to be.
And
right?
you know what?
Right.
The production design, the production design team, when he first picked it up the first time, literally, they were like, amazing. Actually, I felt a little teary-eyed over that because I could just see me giving, us doing these awards. But really and truly, it is important that we think about who would we thank and to be able to speak it and to say it. Okay, so the last question. This hasn't been so frightening, right? For our dream game, right?
No, it's been good. It's been good. Because I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping to get an Oscar and an Emmy.
And you already got your speech.
And a Golden Globe next year. I'm hoping because I'm working on a documentary, so I'm hoping. So that was great practice.
This is what I was going to say. This is great practice.
This is great.
That's right. Okay, and you practice right here first.
Absolutely.
On Dreamers
Unite. When I get that
show.
EGOT, I'm going.
You say, I practiced this
Absolutely.
speech. Thank you, Sherri Pullum.
Absolutely. I won't get the Tony but I will get the ego.
Okay,
so I have the ego.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I love it. I love it. So, what's on your list of on the horizon? A dream to come.
There's a few of them, so it's tough
that you can share because I know there's one
Yes.
we talked about offline that you can't share yet, but I'm affirming it with you.
There's a few. There's that one, and
Okay.
then there is the documentary that we're working on called "Stepping into the Shade" is one that I believe is going to touch a lot of people. This story that we're going to be talking about of immigrants coming to the United States, specifically Hartford, Connecticut. It's a love story, Sherri, but it's based in the tobacco industry, and it's gonna. So, I've been talking to the team. We've been filming for the past 8 months. We got 4 more left.
Wow!
And I told them Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Golden Globe. I believe it is worthy of all of those things because it is a heartfelt story that crosses a lot of cultural lines, racial lines, and brings light to those who came over here for a dream and put this tobacco industry on their back and what that meant for them.
Yeah.
Things they had to go through. So that is one thing, and just to see the June Archer School of Arts do well, and that the June Archer Foundation will be able to have an endowment that young people who are interested in arts and entertainment would not ever have the opportunity to be declined, the opportunity to learn about these things, that there will always be money for them to learn.
Yeah.
Especially when
Amen.
it comes to STEAM. So that, I would say those few things. But there's so many others. It's now that I'm on your couch, the next couch is Oprah's couch. So listen, there's so many things. It's a huge bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing those few, and we're going to claim and affirm them. And I can't wait. What's the name of the film again?
Stepping into the Shade.
Stepping into the Shade. As a matter of fact, that's a big industry, right, in Connecticut is tobacco. And well, I worked on tobacco, right? Because you could.
I picked tobacco.
I worked on tobacco, okay? And because it's what you could do before you even were 16.
Absolutely.
Right?
You got your working papers. It was the first thing. It was like a rite of passage.
Yeah, you didn't even have to have working papers to do. I don't think I had working papers when I worked tobacco. That was the whole thing about it. You could work it without the working papers.
You made some good money back then.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, I didn't.
Teenager, like
I think we were like 14, 15. I mean, you were young.
That was it.
Yeah, I still remember some experiences of that too. So, I'm really, really, in all honesty, though, really sharing a story like that. That's powerful, and what it it meant for people coming here and carrying that industry on their backs. I can't wait to see that.
That's a lot. And we weave in the MLK story and talk about him actually working on the tobacco farms. And that's where he found his love for preaching and found his love for taking up the torch for the civil rights movement. Was in Connecticut, in Simsbury. So a lot of people don't even
I didn't know that.
or even knew that was the seed that was planted.
The framework.
It's crazy, right?
Wow.
And it's so much. Not only his story, but Malcolm X is in that story, being in Hartford. So many political people and the Black Panther stories in there, and just so many things that have been unpacked that people are going to be like, wow, that's crazy. Didn't know that. Now, my mom has been Jamaican all my life. And I'm telling her stories of things I've learned, and she's like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, that's crazy. So can you imagine when this story comes out? And it's not even stories to expose anything. It's more stories to educate.
That's right.
And talking about Hitler's in this documentary and what it meant for him and the U-boats that almost bombed the ships that came over from Jamaica. The first ship. So there's all these stories, and I'm giving you all just a little appetizer because it's so dope. But I hope that when you hear about it, and I hope I have the opportunity to come back and talk about it, that when you see or hear about stepping into the shade, that you take the opportunity to watch it. So.
Oh, definitely. Listen, I am in your corner, as I know you are in mine.
Absolutely.
And of course, you're going to come back anytime that you want. You know, you're welcome back anytime, and invite us to the red carpet.
Absolutely.
We'll be there.
I'm hoping I get an invitation back because the production person is probably going to make sure that I get my name is on the wall of people not to bring back into the studio. But I did put the cup back exactly where it's supposed to be. So I do hope to come back very soon.
You will definitely be back. Oh my goodness, June, this has been a fun time. I could still have gone on for like another hour or 2 or 3. But as I say, you know, all good things at some point must come to an end. But it's really not an end. It's really just a new beginning.
Absolutely.
Actually. And I thank you again, June, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
We might click with our microphones. Okay, production people, sound people, whatever. We had to do it.
Had to do that.
Doesn't matter. And I am just really grateful to be able to, you know, just for us to be able to connect again and to hear your story. There were things I learned today from you that I really didn't know. So I'm grateful for you to share your journey with me today.
And I'm very proud of what you've been doing. Continue to do what you're doing. Keep shining your light, sister.
I'm going to keep shining, honey. Y'all turn up your shade. Put your shades on. We about to turn up. Whatever. But we are going to turn up. You know what, dreamers? Listen, if you have not subscribed yet, if you haven't been following us on the YouTube channel, we got new content coming. So come on and subscribe. Follow us on our social media. June, tell us again where we can get you.
I am JuneArcher.com.
All right. I am JuneArcher.com. That's it for me. I thank you so much. As always, it's an honor and a privilege every time that I have you coming to spend time with me. So I'll see you again next time, right here in the studio on Dreamers Unite.